Hello everyone. Hello everyone. How are you doing? How are you doing today? Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Okay, so welcome to Supreme Institute of Applied Sciences and Technology. Welcome to Supreme Institute of Applied Sciences and Technology. So this is Mr. Piri, and I'll be taking you in database management system course. Okay, so we'll be together throughout this course. So on today's lesson, we'll look at the introduction of database management. We'll define what the data is, what information is, the types of the database. Yeah, so we are not going to talk much or waste much of the time. We'll just look at the introduction of a database management. Okay, so those of you, let me just give an intro to make you a clear understanding of what a database management is. So a database management is a system that manages the data at the organization, an institution, or the company. Okay, so we are going to, in the next page, we are going to show you the topics that we are going to cover in this course of database management. So let's see the topics. By the end of this course, the student or the learners should be able to identify what a data is, should also manage to identify the difference between data and information, a database, the types of the database management system. So here is the objectives. Okay, here is the objectives. So here are the objectives. So on the objectives, to make you know about the fundamentals of database management system and improve ourselves by taking variable feedback from you. Okay, so to make you know about, let me change the cursor. Which color can it work? Okay, let me use red here. Okay, so to make you know about the fundamentals of database management system and improve ourselves by taking variable feedback from you. Okay, so this will help us to improve ourselves by taking the feedbacks from you. So according to our explanation, and where you did not understand, where you are not clear in terms of the voice projection, and as well as the graphic of the video, then you will tell us where we need to improve. By doing so, your feedback, it will help us to improve ourselves. Okay, so let's proceed. Number one, like we said, this is the table of contents. Okay, so we're going to look at the introduction to define what a database is, what is information, database, data mode. So at the end of this course, meaning the learners or the students should be able to understand what is data, what is information, database, data models, scheme and instances, components of database system, what is database management system, database administrator, database languages, database system architectures, advantages of database management system, disadvantages of database management system, examples of database management system, then management system access, as well as applications of database management system. So application is more like where you can use the database management system. So at the end of this course, meaning the learner should be able to define and differentiate all of these in the table of contents. Okay, so let's proceed on today's lesson. We'll look at the introduction of database management system. Okay, so on the introduction, database management system, database DBMS stand for database management system, stand for database management system, in case you be hearing DBMS. So DBMS is a software system for creating, organizing, and managing the database. Okay, so database management system, in short, is a software system for creating, organizing, and managing the database. Okay, so in short, this is just the software that they create in order to be using at the organization. Every organization, they have the database. I can give an example: data hierarchy. Starting from the staff members, I can start with the director. Then from the director, there's vice director. Then there's vice director. Then we go to the we go to the HR. Then the HR, we have maybe the vice HR. We have the representatives. Then we go to the the supervisors. From the supervisors, we go to the the fieldwork managers. So it is the system. Okay, it is a system starting from the hierarchy going downwards. Okay, so the very software is one that they use to organizing the organization and managing the database system at that organization. Okay, so to provide an environment to the user to perform operations on the database for creation, insertion, deletion, updating, and retrieval of data. Okay, so it provides an environment to the user to perform operations on the database for creation, insertion, deletion, updating, and retrieval of data. So in short, here what it is, it provides an environment for users in order to perform the operations, to do your task, then on the database for creation, meaning you can create a task. After creating a task, you can also insert a task and delete a task. You can also update or even retrieve the data after you have deleted. Okay, yeah, so that's what it means. It provides an environment to the user to perform an operations on the database for creation. That is, you can create a task. Okay, you can also insert, meaning you can also put some certain things in that system, or you can delete, or if not deleting, you can also update that system where you think maybe there will be need of an updating or upgrading the system. For instance, maybe to the account, you have the system whereby once someone makes the payment, you are not giving them the receipt, or maybe the receipt was provided by the person who received the payments. So you want to change that system now. You update it in a sense that instead of making the payment, once you make the payment, you'll be getting the receipt from where you have made the payment, but the other person is the one who will be giving you the receipt after checking in the system that you have made the payment. So you pay maybe from another office, then you need to go to the other office to get the receipt. But before updating the system, once you make the payment, the very person who received the payment could also provide a receipt for you. But after you have looked into the system, you change the system and update it. Then the very same time, you can also delete. Maybe there's some things that you were doing that are outdated. For instance, if communicating with the client, you were sending the emails, okay? Maybe you are sending the emails only, but we are now moving in the world of technology where communication has become more easier. So instead of just sending the emails to the clients or the customers, you now open the maybe Facebook page or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, various platforms where you can advertise your product and have access to communicate with the client worldwide. So meaning if you still want to be using the email whereby you can be sending the notifications to the client via email, now you have discovered that it is a challenge to some of the people that they do not have the emails, or maybe they don't pay much attention to their emails. You find that you could send the emails, but after maybe 6 months, that's when they could check the email. The time they will contact you, you find that the product, they are out of stock or they are already done. Maybe you are running a promotion within 2 weeks or 1 month, but now a client has opened their email maybe in 2 months' time. So you phased out that idea of sending the emails. You started now posting either on WhatsApp, on Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, so that's the thing. On the same thing, maybe you want to bring back the old system. You can also retrieve the data or the information that you have lost or that you have deleted using the same database management software system. I hope you are clear. Okay, so let's proceed. What is data? What is data? So you need to understand the difference between data and information. Okay, in the previous lessons, for those that you were with me in the IT essentials, which is computer repair, so we discussed or we defined what the data is and what the information is. So you, in short, you need to differentiate between data and the information. So before I could proceed, allow me to explain the difference between data and information. So data is a piece of information. It is a piece of information. It is an information, but it is a piece of information. It becomes an information after it has given us a meaning if result. Okay? What do I mean? I can give an example of the last time I gave an example of the car, but now let me look for another example which can define exactly of what data is. Okay, so for instance, you have your phone. Okay, your phone. So your phone, it has the components of the battery, the LCD, which is the screen, the motherboard, and the cover. So for instance, if you have a battery and the cover, meaning you only have the components, you don't have a complete phone to give you a meaning if results. With a battery alone, you cannot call it as a phone. with the cover alone, you cannot call it a phone. So it needs all the necessary data, of which to the phone we refer them as the components. All the necessary components, we put them together to give you a meaning of results. A meaning of results, like to the phone, is all the components like a motherboard, which is the panel, then the LCD, which is the screen, then the battery as well as the covers. You put them together, then it will become a complete phone, meaning it has given you a meaning of results. You can call, you can watch videos, you can do whatever things you want to do according to the functions of the phone, meaning it has now given you a meaning of results or an information. You'll be able to tell that this is the phone because it is complete. But when you just have a battery and the cover, you only have the data, okay, the components of the phone. If someone sees you with the cover, you say that this person, or maybe Mr. Mrenga or Mr. James or Madam Natasha, have the parts of the phone, not the phone. Okay, not until it gives the meaning of results, it has the complete set. Okay, that's what it means. Then information is something that is complete, full set. When you hold, this is the phone. It's complete, it gives the meaning of results. You can tell this is the phone, or this is the car, this is the cup. Yeah, that's the difference, how I can make you understand. Now let's define. Talking about the data. Okay, so a data is a collection of raw facts and figures, like I said, those components to come up as one, to have a complete thing or object. Okay, so data is a collection of raw facts and figures before they have been processed. After being processed, that's when they become as an information. So a raw material that can be processed by any computing machine. Okay, I'll repeat. A data is a collection of raw facts and figures. Okay, so it's just pieces of the information. Then the same raw materials that can be processed by any computing machine after they have been processed in order to give the meaning of results. Okay, so a collection of facts from which conclusions may be drawn. Okay, a collection of facts from which conclusions may be drawn. Okay, so data can be presented in the form of numbers and words, which can be stored in computers language. I.e., the example given, we have pan, sing, a shoe, that is 007. It's just an example. So in here, it's just the picture that is showing the pieces of data before they could give you meaningful results. Like the way you are seeing from this picture, you can't tell what this is. What you are seeing is that they have we have the numbers and the words, meaning we have the that is an alphabetical, where you have the letters and the numbers. Okay, so it has not yet given us the meaning of results. So you only have the pieces of data, of which when you combine them together, you come up with the letter like love, peace of mind, psychology, like hypertension, all those kind of words. Okay, let's proceed. So what is information? What is information? So information is the systematic and meaningful form of data. Systematic and meaningful form of data. Okay? Then knowledge acquired through study or experience. Knowledge acquired through study or experience. Okay? The information helps human beings in their decision making. So when you see this picture here below and this picture here, it will tell you that this picture, they have pieces of the information or data before they could process it. But now after processing it, you are able to tell that this is the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and O, and so on and so forth. And there are numbers below. You can start mentioning 1, 2, 3, 4. So it gives you a clear picture as the meaning of information. So that's the difference. This is the information, and this one is the data. I hope you are clear now. Okay? So database. A database here. A repository of logically related and similar data. Okay? So an organized collection of related information so that it can easily be accessed, managed, and updated, e.g., dictionary, airline database, student database, library, railways, timetable, YouTube. Okay, so this was just an introduction of what a database is, the data and the information, the difference between data and the information. So we are not going to go deep into details. For now, we are going to end our class here. When we meet again, we start from the database, going up to data models, scheme and the instances, then high-level model 1, then entity relationship model, and so on and so forth. So for now, it was just an introduction. When we meet again, we are going to continue from the database. But for now, we're going to end here. At least you have understand what information is and what a database, what a data is. At least when someone asks you to define what's the data, it is collection of raw facts before it has been processed to give a meaningful result. Then an information is a systematic and meaningful form of data. Okay, so you can explain different way according to your own understanding, but for as long as it will meet in the same meaning at the end of the definition. Okay, so thank you very much. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and comment to our YouTube channel. It also helps us to identify the number of students who have attended the classes and who have not. Okay, so see you in the next class, as we'll be looking at the database, data models, scheme, and instances. So see you and study in advance. One more thing, please, when you are studying, have the vision, have the plan why you are doing so. Computer is one of the ICT courses, or skill is one of the demanding courses so far. Almost in every organization, every job opportunity, they need people that have skills in computer science. So please pay attention and focus more, do more research in order to have more information. Don't feel lazy. Okay, invest in your knowledge and it will help you in future. It shall really pay you. Thank you very much. See you. Bye and love you all.